Gangsters, this is Pocket Attorney. So we're going to ask it about a field sobriety test. Can we decline it? So I'm just going to type it right here. Call him PA. Can I decline a field sobriety test? And it's given the answer. What it's doing is going through all the Texas laws, codes, everything. Texas law, Texas justice. It is going through it and it is pulling up the answer for you. You can go right here and have it to read aloud.
Yes, in Texas, you can decline a field sobriety test. These tests, such as the horizontal gaze nystagmus eye test, walk and turn and one leg stand, are voluntary and you are not legally required to perform them. Ha! What happens if you refuse? No direct penalty. Refusing a field sobriety test does not result in an automatic license suspension. Officer's discretion. The officer may still arrest you if they believe they have probable cause based on other observations, e.g., slurred speech, smell of alcohol. No additional evidence. By refusing, you prevent the officer from gathering potentially damaging evidence against you in court. Should you refuse? Many attorneys recommend politely declining field sobriety tests because they are subjective and can be difficult even for sober individuals. Poor performance can be used against you in court. There are no legal consequences for refusing them. However, Texas has implied consent laws for chemical tests, breath or blood tests. Refusing a breath or blood test can lead to an automatic license suspension and may be used against you in court. Would you like details on DWI penalties or how to challenge a license suspension in Texas?
We're going to answer this question and I'm going to say yes. But first, yes, but first, what is implied consent? And I did spell implied incorrectly, but it automatically corrects your words.
Implied consent in Texas. Implied consent means that by obtaining a driver's license and driving on Texas roads, you have automatically agreed to submit to a chemical test, breath or blood test, if law enforcement suspects you of driving while intoxicated,
I bet y'all
DWI.
didn't know that.
Key points about implied consent: applies only to breath and blood tests, not field sobriety tests. You can refuse, but there are consequences. Officers must inform you of the penalties for refusing. What happens if you refuse a breath or blood test? One license suspension. First refusal, 180-day suspension. Second refusal, within 10 years, 2-year suspension. Two used against you in court. Prosecutors can argue that your refusal means you knew you were intoxicated. Three, forced blood draw warrant. In some cases, officers can get a warrant and take your blood without your consent. Common in cases with accidents, minors in the car, or repeat offenders. Would you like to know how to fight a license suspension or DWI penalties in Texas?
Give me the penalties. You won't see how it's giving all of this information out. I'm going to have it to read out loud.
DWI penalties in Texas 2024. The penalties for driving while intoxicated, DWI in Texas.
say failed to play message. Let's go back.
DWI penalties in Texas, 2024. The penalties for driving while intoxicated DWI in Texas depend on prior offenses, age, and circumstances. First offense DWI, Class B misdemeanor, fine up to $2,000, jail time 3 to 180 days, license suspension 90 days to 1 year, annual surcharge up to $2,000 per year for 3 years to keep your license. Ignition interlock device may be required. Second offense DWI, Class A misdemeanor, fine up to $4,000, jail time 30 days to 1 year, license suspension 180 days to 2 years, IID required. Third offense DWI, felony, third degree felony, up to 10,000, prison time 2 to 10 years, license suspension up to 2 years, can affect employment, housing, and gun rights. DWI with a child passenger state, fine up to 10,000, 180 days to 2 years in a state jail, license suspension up to 2 years. DWI with vague of .15 or higher, Class A misdemeanor, fine up to 4,000, up to 1 year, license suspension up to 2 years, IID required, intoxication assault, third degree felony, injuring someone while DWI, fine up to $10,000, 2 to 10 years, license suspension up to 2 years, intoxication manslaughter, second degree felony, killing someone while D, fine up to 10 times, 2 to 20 years, up to 2 years. Would you like help with DWI defenses or how to restore your license after a suspension?
I'm going to say no, not at this time, but please tell me the difference between DWI and DUI. You see how it's breaking it down? It's even providing you a chart to go by, making it extremely simplistic. You must get this tool, this power, excuse me, pocket attorney for you and your family. But let's read it aloud.
Difference between DWI and DUI in Texas. In Texas, DWI, driving while intoxicated, and DUI, driving under the influence, are two separate offenses with distinct legal meanings. With the one, DWI, driving while intoxicated, Texas Penal Code 49.04 applies to adults 21 and older and minors. Definition: driving with a blood alcohol concentration VAC of 0.08% or higher, or being impaired by drugs or alcohol. Penalties: first offense, up to $2,000 fine, 3 to 180 days in jail, license suspension, third offense. Harsher penalties: felony after third offense. Common for adults who exceed the legal BS limit or are visibly impaired. And 2. DUI, driving under the influence. Texas Alcoholic Beverage Code, paragraph 106.041, applies to minors under 21 years old. Definition: any detectable amount of alcohol in the minor system while driving. Zero tolerance law. Penalties: Class C misdemeanor, not as severe as DWI. Fine up to $500. Community service, 20 to 40 hours. Alcohol awareness course required. License suspension up to 60 days. Common for minors caught with any trace of alcohol in their system. Key differences: factor DUI, driving while intoxicated. DUI, driving under the influence. Who can be charged? Who can anyone, adult or minor, Minors only, under 21. Legal BS limit 0.8% or signs of impairment. Any detectable alcohol. Severity. Misdemeanor or felony. Depends on number of offenses. Class C misdemeanor. Less severe. License suspension. Yes, 90 days to 2 years. Yes, up to 60 days. Jail time. Yes, for DWI. Bottom line, DWI equals more severe, applies to adults and minors based on BAC 0.08% or impairment. DUI, less severe, applies only to minors based on any alcohol in the system. Would you like to know how to fight a DWI or DUI charge in Texas?
No, this is it. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you ever need more legal info, just ask. Stay safe out there.
All right, you all. There you are. Pocket attorney. Get it today. Go to legal-gangsta.com. Gangsta spelled Gangsta. All right. Have a wonderful one. Bye bye.